we didn't. Not only do we have 2 viewers, but we didn't lose viewers. We actually gained viewers from not streaming.
I think what that means is that we have to stop streaming sooner, more often.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
I think. Yeah. I think. So far, our average viewership has been better when we are not streaming. So that seems to be the winning formula here. We've doubled our viewership. All right. So yes, you're in the Gorbachev diner, fighting against some villainous breakfasts. I can say that you do have the waffle on the ropes.
Oh yeah.
And it appears as if you've already destroyed the giant creep. Either you've already yeah.
I think okay.
Yeah. Either you already destroyed it or you didn't touch it, land a blow on it. I'm gonna say you already destroyed it.
Yay.
There you go. 1 down. 2 to go.
I remember that.
All right.
So is it?
But it is their turn, and we're down to 0 viewers. So yeah. So there you go. As soon as we started streaming, it's like, oh. F this.
Oh, this is what this is?
Yeah.
No thanks. I thought this was someone who was gonna do some ASMR breakfast for me.
I'll drink. I'll make throat noises while I drink my iced tea. Actually hurt my throat.
not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm not a fan of the whole ASMR thing altogether. Alright, you got monsters attacking you, starting with the French, I'm going to say the French bear. He's going to go first. Or she. Let's see here. I guess I should...
We go first.
Well, they're going because it was their turn, according to my notes.
I know. I'm just saying they can avoid all the any.
That's true. Gender neutral. Is that the right term? Let's see here. Just need to pull up their stats so I know how they attack you. Break fast. Ah, there we go. Alrighty. So, I'm gonna assume that they've done some of their Surruption attacks, because I remember Zach taking some continuous damage at some point. So I'm gonna say that they are done with those, and they are gonna go for some straight up attacks. Starting with Jira. The French Terror is going to attack Jira. So, Jira, if you can, roll your d20 plus your Omer to defend against my d20 plus its impact.
8.
8. It lands a blow. A mighty blow. Against you. Doing... me writing the slash properly. 1d4 damage. Doing 2 points of damage against you. And the waffle is going to slowly move toward this girl who is now, I'd say she is nearing, I'm going to put a drawing of position here. Draw shape. I'll say she's right over here. And it's going after her. She's kind of freaked out. She needs your help. She needs a hero.
Does he gotta be strong and or fast?
Yeah. At this point, he should be fast because he's gonna overtake her in the next move. And then I'm gonna leave that to your turn because they are done. It's now your turn. How would you like to proceed?
The waffle's chasing somebody?
The waffle is chasing the waitress, I believe. That, if it wasn't the waitress, it is now. That was assisting you earlier.
Well, I think Post-it's got that all covered for now. So I'm just gonna impact attack the French toast.
Okay.
Oh, I did realize after last game that we completely forgot about joint attacks.
Do you guys want to do a joint attack now? Between you and Jira?
They give us extra bonus for working together. XP, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jira is reserved her decision.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I'm doing an impact attack.
Jira?
Same.
2 impact attacks. Okay. Do you guys want to? Do one of you want to describe how that looks as you make the attack? Or actually, let's roll,
Okay.
and then we'll see if it lands first.
Yeah, we might have to describe how it missed.
Oof.
I got a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
I got a 24, not natural.
All right. So you both land successful blows. Let's see here. Oops, I'm still drawing. And I'm going to say that why don't you describe this intense attack that the two of you landed together that does completely obliterate this waffle.
So I yell shield, and then I hold up my gauntlet. And then Jira runs and jumps off of it and headbutts right through the French toast.
And so, if Jira's headbutting the French toast, the neck extends and knocks the French toast into the oven
Oh no!
and smashes it into the oven, completely decimating it. It is now. It has now returned to a soggy French toast form. Not to trouble you anymore. Post it. What do you want?
Oh, can I
Cool.
use movement still?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Is this dining room all walled off?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There
And
are
you said
people there that are kind of huddled and scared in there.
And it takes 2 movements to get across the counter?
It does.
Okay, so that's 1, 2. Is diagonal okay?
Yep, that's fine.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Do you have 8 movement?
Yeah.
That's pretty brilliant. All right.
I rolled really well on my...
On your
I
speed.
rolled the full speed. I was really happy about that.
Very nice.
My speed's
Faster than a
only
giraffe somehow.
6. Yeah, you're faster than a giraffe and a delivery boy, so
On a bike.
Come out to the desert.
Not
and
on the
trade
bike.
sometime.
when I'm on the bike, I'm faster, I think.
Yes. You have an extra 3, right?
Yeah.
Also, just barely.
when he runs, he pedals his legs like Luigi.
No.
It's the only way I know how. I'm gonna do an impact attack on the waffle.
Okay, great. So I'm rolling a d20 to.
That looks like a 12.
A hit, a mighty hit. Why don't you
Yes.
describe how you take down the waffle?
I run to tackle it and just like wrap my arms around it, and I guess squish it flat when we land on in the tile floor. And now I'm just covered in syrup.
Right. So as you tackle it, the hit from you hitting it is enough to do damage because it was already at its weakest point. So as you hit it, it transforms back to a waffle and then just flatten it even further. It was very anticlimactic, but
Okay.
you successfully defeated the waffle nonetheless.
Is it a tasty waffle?
No, it is covered in maple. Well, it's covered in maple syrup, but also water. So it is a soggy mess.
Okay.
And it is now decorating the front of your shirt. So congratulations, you have successfully defeated the complex carbs here. So now, okay. As you guys defeat the last breakfast, people start coming. Somebody turned off the sprinkler system. I don't know if it was on yet, but somebody turns off the fire suppression system, so the water and syrup slowly start stopping from pouring all over the patrons. A bunch of people start crawling out from underneath the tables in kind of a syrupy mess. And they start calling the authorities. So they call the authorities to come. The authorities arrive, and you are met by a detective. Let's see here. What's the name of the detective? Detective Denko. Detective Denko comes by, and he is factory security of a detective class, and he thanks you for the work that you have done, and he recognizes Post-it right off the bat. He's like, "Oh, it is you. You have returned to the homeland."
I said I've never truly left the homeland.
Good.
How could I?
So, it appears that we are missing one very vital scientist. It seems you may have known something about his last whereabouts, or you know what's been going on with him.
Do you mean Professor Mendeleev?
Yes.
We do know his last whereabouts. He was here with us.
But do you know anything about where he could have been taken to?
And no, we just know he was taken, I think. Right? Isn't that right?
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Okay. So the question is, so Detective Danko appreciates all the help that you've provided them, and wants to bring you in as deputies, temporary deputies, to the Tamnia Zavad Security Task Force in trying to find Professor Mendeleev. And the work starts right now if you are so inclined to assist us.
Don't see why not. I think I look at Jira and Skara and I say we were going to do this anyway, right? look for our friend who bought us dinner, Professor Mendeleev,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Okay, Jira, if you are still
Guard
in that
eating
general.
soggy breakfast and breads.
Okay, so starting off, Jira, can you roll me a d20 plus your power?
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so Jira is desperately trying to. She is eyeballing uh, that plate of pancakes that was on the counter, and there's like a little bit of saliva forming there because it is now covered in a sugary mess, and she absolutely can't resist desserts.
That's correct.
Um,
Can she
so,
just like lean over and lick it?
huh? So, Jira discreetly as an 8-foot tall giraffe can, leans over and licks a random plate of pancakes. Much to the odd bemusement of the staff. But she doesn't really notice anything else. She's too engrossed in this plate of pancakes that has co-opted her attention. So what would you like? What would you all like to do at the start of trying to pursue this mystery?
Eat these pancakes?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
We really have our priorities in order, don't we?
Okay, so
He's already been kidnapped. What's gonna happen to him? Like, get kidnapped again? No, let's have pancakes.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So Jiro picks up the pancakes and starts cutting into them. Let's say Alex, or actually no, Scar, you're closer. I'd like you to roll a d20 plus your power.
15.
Okay. You recall that those pancakes were also zapped by that ray that transformed the other monsters into the other breakfasts into monsters. It just so happened that it didn't change. So yeah, that happened.
The pancakes that Jira can't stop eating.
Yes,
Those are the ones. Okay.
she's eating the monsters apt pancakes.
I'm just gonna sit down next to Jira and just kind of like watch and see if anything happens.
Okay. Jira notices.
So like very obviously, like
Jira notices that, and then one of the waitresses comes by and goes, basically says, "Well, since you've started eating the pancakes, do you think you'll be? Were you planning on covering the glowing guy's tab?" And she's got a little receipt there for several pancakes.
do we even have money?
Breakfast. That's a good question. You do not.
Why don't we have any money?
So, I mean, I don't know if you do or not.
I feel like Jira hasn't bought into the capitalist system at all.
I feel like
Not
Scar's
Jira,
right there
sorry,
with
Skara.
them too.
Skara.
Like,
You were getting treated to
okay.
breakfast. You know that Dr. Mendeleev does have an account on Tab, though, so you can definitely tap into that if you have to.
yes,
Can I
put this
take
on.
him and then order another side of pancakes?
Excellent.
I'll order some waffles.
So, let's see here. How did I phrase this?
Also, isn't everything covered with syrup?
Everything in the entire diner is
Delicious.
covered in syrup. It's delicious
That's-
syrup.
Anything.
Let's go
Um,
sit in this syrupy booth and just hang out for a little while, everybody. How's that sound?
So the group starts talking to some. I guess you guys start interviewing some of the patrons and the waitresses, asking around and things like that. Specifically, the waitress that came by to talk to you describes how the same four guys that glow in four distinct colors come by and eat the same eat breakfasts each day, but they kind of alternate a little bit. So she wasn't exactly sure who ate the pancakes, but they do believe I guess Detective Denko is kind of curious about who ate the pancakes, or who was set to eat the pancakes, and who was set to eat the other breakfast foods. The unfortunate side of it is that after talking to all of these patrons for some time, or the employees for some time, you discover that they're a little bit muddled after the experience that they had. So they have some information, but not all information. But Detective Danko believes that if you could figure out who ate the pancakes, they could put an APB out for that person and bring him in. So with that, let me see how I could share this. You guys have the ability to see... actually, no. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I should have planned this in advance. Would have been intelligent. So, how do I share this here? Add. Handout. Choose file. Sorry, guys. I forgot that I actually have to provide you with this information. All right. So in front of you are plates, and this is the information you were able to gather from the patrons, and it's varied. So one of you might have decided to, I'm assuming, take notes on the information you were able to gather.
All right.
And here
I
it is.
can't read.
Excellent. So Post-it will be posting that information to you. What you were able to gather is that Mr. Blue was either sitting in seat 2, or he was eating the crepes.
You said seat 2?
Yep. Based off of, like the varying reports. He was either sitting in
Yeah.
seat 2 or he was eating crepes. But not this. One or
That's
the
okay.
other.
I wrote down the wrong number at first.
Ah.
That's all.
Got it.
Cool.
You You've also learned that Mr. White sat in seat 4.
Okay.
Later on from the waitress, you learned that it was actually Mr. Pink that ate the crepes. And remember, this is a puzzle for kids. You also learned that Mr. Blue sat 2 seats down from the man eating the waffles. And finally, you learned that whoever ate the crepes sat 1 seat number lower than whoever ate the pancakes.
Okay, so White sat in seat 4. Blue sat in seat 2 because he didn't eat the crepes. Pink had the crepes.
And which one are we trying to solve for? Who had the waffles?
Who had the pancakes?
Who had the pancakes?
So Pink had the crepes, so he was -1 from pancakes, so he can't be in seat 1.
Is it seat 3, the pancake?
Oh, seat 1 would be the pancakes, right?
I
1 or
think
2?
I think it's seat 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Seat 1.
Blue sat in seat 2, and he was 2 seats from waffles. So that would be 4 had the waffles. 3 had the crepes. Blue sat in seat 2. And seat 1 was there.
Does that mean that
And crepes is 1 down from the
Mr.
pancake.
Wait,
And Pink had the crepes, so pancakes would be seat 2, right?
yeah. That's what I'm getting is at bare minimum pancakes is seat 2.
Scarra takes out her bubble pipe.
Excellent. That is now canon.
So we're saying seat 2 was the pancakes? And that would be Blue. Right?
That's what I got. Unless I misheard something.
Does he need to know who had the waffles too?
Nope.
Oh, because we could totally tell.
I mean, you could, yes. So, that's your final answer?
Yeah, Post-it is the only one who speaks Russian, so we let him do all the talking with them.
They're all speaking a broken outage language that everybody all speaks. It just sounds a little bit. It's accented for now.
No, it's hard on the ear, you see.
Okay, so yes, you are correct. So
Yeah.
Mr. Pink sat in seat 1, eating the crepes. Mr. Blue sat in seat 2, eating pancakes. Mr. Orange sat in seat 3 and ate French toast. And Mr. White sat in seat 4 and ate waffles. Congratulations on solving the puzzle.
Yeah.
And we're gonna say, okay, so what do you do with this information?
Don't we tell doesn't the investigator guy want to know?
Yes, he does.
I
Okay.
tell Post-it.
All right. I go over to Detective Denko, and I say, "We've interviewed everybody, and we think we know who ate the pancakes.
Yeah.
It was,
Very good. Tell me, please.
Mr. Blue ate the pancakes today."
That's yes. We've heard of this Mr. Blue. Okay. Well, we'll fill out. We will have an APB and we'll fill out an APB on him and we'll bring him into the station as soon as we can. In the interim, there is what I'd like to do for you is to provide you with a host of police officers. They will go with you, and they will also drive you to any destination that you want to explore this case. I can make a recommendation on 3 different locations that you can go to, if you so choose.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Take some directions. I know this place like the back of my hand, but you know, it's still a lot of the back of the hand. You know.
Well, one option, of course, is you can always come by the police station, and if at some point we should have Detective Blue in custody.
Detective Blue.
Sorry, Mr. Blue.
Oh
in
no.
Sorry, Mr. Blue in custody. But we could also we've discovered that it appears that based off the description of the aggressor, we have case files available for the villain Breakfast. If you want to investigate more information about Breakfast. The other 2 places I could recommend to you is going to Professor Mendeleev's lab or Professor Mendeleev's home. Now, if you do encounter any person that you believe should be brought in for questioning, inform the team, and they will be able to bring they'll have enough of a force with them that they should be able to stymie any outbreak of violence before it occurs.
Well, if we have any violence, we all got a few tricks up our sleeves. And he like slaps a newspaper as he says this.
Nice. Like, yes. Now, the last thing that we can say is that our police funds only go are not so expansive that we could cover the seemingly ever increasing tab that your friend Jira there is forming. This appears to be her 18th pancake, and pancakes come at a commodity here in the Tamnia Zavad, so the sooner you get on the road, the better. So, with that information in hand, how would you like to pursue the investigation?
I say we research this guy first.
Okay, at the police station.
Yeah, just to make sure that I don't fall in love with this one too.
And that just ends up being Scar's thing. Just like really loves the bad boys and girls.
Excellent. Okay. So, the cool thing about this, the cool and not so cool thing about this, is that when I game tested this adventure at what was it? DexCon. Nobody went to the police station.
It's boring. Research sucks.
So, well, this adventure is going to fill out a little bit more like a detective story, because each region kind of gives you a little bit more of a different kind of play style that you would normally have. So this is going to be more about exploration and a bit of detective work for each scenario. So bear with me as I'm going to be doing a little bit more reading and a little bit less off the cuff dialogue here. So you all shamble into police vehicle, and they take Post-it's bike and attach it to the back there, and they drive you over to the police station. After some time, a person is brought into the. You see, like off in the distance, somebody is being brought into a room for questioning. You could tell that the guy radiates a faint blue glow as he's being dragged off into this room here. And the desk sergeant asks you what you would like to do, if you'd like to speak to Mr. Blue, or would you like to look over the case file for Breakfast?
I want to look over the case file for Breakfast and see how dreamy he is.
Let's see if I have any information on that. And I don't, because I'm unprepared. Alright.
I think all you really need to tell Scar is if looking into Breakfast's eyes is like the first time she'd heard the Beatles.
If you were to look into Breakfast's eyes, you would feel the warm glow of a radiator coil slowly searing the front of your face. Because all that his visage is just a fiery portal, or actually two fiery portals into a toasty hell.
What I really want to know is if he wants to smash the bourgeoisie.
No, actually, he is all about personal gain.
Okay, I don't like him.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna go off of memory here. Breakfast was a mafia boss that originally was looking for a means. So he had been doing like some small numbers stuff, nothing really big, until he accidentally came on landed a truck delivery that was going to Seward's Refuge that had some pretty high-level technology, things that allow you to change, that manipulate matter, things that allow you to, all the different kinds of weaponry that he actually keeps on him, and this atomic sledgehammer that he has that has kind of somewhat of a waffle-shaped face to it. And looking into Google Translate for, the Atamnia Zavad version of Google Translate, he was looking for a villainous name that would, encompass his character. Somebody that is able to break things quickly with ferocity. And so he came up with the name Breakfast. After time, he, and quite a bit of mockery, he's decided to adopt the erroneously labeled pseudonym. And he's like, screw it, I'm going to go for it. And he decked himself out in full breakfast regalia and adopted that as his motif. Ever since then, his crimes against the people of the Atamnia Zavad have become more daring, more dangerous, and more destructive. 3 terrible D's. And he and the report indicates lately that that a a lot of his most recent activities have been involved around aeronautics for some reason. So he seems to be very interested in aviation, and a lot of the equipment that he has been stealing around the city has been related to aeronautics. And that's all that is listed in the case file.
Okay, should we interview the blue guy now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. The detective has a dossier on Breakfast, describes some of the history found in the dossier. I never did that, so I'm skipping that. No, that doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna skip that. The Detective Danko, you meet with Detective Danko as he looks into a room with that's glowing blue because Mr. Blue sits there, not needing really any light to shine down on him, and he's waiting there to be questioned. Now, he hasn't really done anything wrong. But the Automnia Zavad justice system has the ability to hold a person if their story isn't really adding up. They'd be able to hold a person for a full day if that were the case. So what you've discovered is that they've already done some preliminary background checking on Mr. Blue via his Tanya Zavad caseworker file. And here's the information you know. Mr. Blue glows blue due to his work with radioactive elements that extend the life of batteries. Let's see, what else do you know? He works in a battery testing department. He has 3 dogs, no wife or children. He graduated average marks from the Moscow People's County College. He is allergic to dairy and cats. And he plays the oboe.
The most evil of instruments.
Let's see here. I wrote some nonsense stuff here. Let's see here. If Mr. Blue isn't charged with a crime, he is only in for questioning. But he seems very suspicious and apprehensive about being in custody. So that's the information you have on him before you go in there. How do you want to proceed?
Can we get a milkshake?
Yes, they order up a milkshake. How many? Just one or cat?
Yeah, just one. With a straw.
Is this still going on Professor Mendelev's tab?
Yes, it is.
Go for 10. Why not?
So they bring up So Detective Danko assumed that the milkshake was going to be part of this, bad cop shtick that Jiro is gonna pull, where she goes in there drinking a delicious beverage that he is not, privy to. Unfortunately, Jira finishes the milkshake before I ever enter.
No, I want to drink most of it, but make sure there's enough to make it a really like obnoxious slurping sound through the straw when you get to the bottom.
Wait, how fast are you gonna drink this? Do we have to roll for brain freeze?
I mean,
Yes.
my neck
No, her
is.
neck's so long it doesn't matter.
Does that? I don't know enough about how brain freeze works to know that if it's an upper palate thing that causes brain freeze, or if it's a throat thing that causes brain freeze. But I'm gonna skip it for now because I don't know. Nice. Excellent. I need a copy of that.
You got it.
So, Jira has a milkshake. How else do you want to proceed, other than an attempt to bring the boys to the yard?
Yeah, I'm following your lead on this one. I don't know where you're going yet.
Oh, it was just. I don't know.
You just wanted a milkshake?
Just wanted a milkshake.
Somebody mentioned Gary. Yeah, let's interview him.
Okay. Are you all going in, all three of you at the same time, or how's that going? Or
Yeah, I'm going to take out a finely aged cheese that I have in one of my belt pouches. It's a nice, pungent wheel of delicious aged desert cheese.
all right. You have this horrible smelling chunk of moldy cheese available.
What do you mean? It's delicious. It's made out of scorpion milk.
Fantastic. I'll let the others deal with that.
Where does scorpion milk come from?
You don't want to know.
I'm assuming scorpion nipples.
Yeah, from scorpion nipples. They're really big in the desert. I don't know if you've ever been there. From obviously the southern woolly scorpion.
I'm gathering now that you meant the scorpions themselves are very big.
Yeah.
Okay.
And their nipples. By proxy, their nipples are also very large.
I was happy just imagining that scorpion cheese was made out of scorpion venom from their tails. We've gone on a very like Post-it's just sitting there, like he was excited to go in and interview this person, and he's just like trying to hold it together, just like hanging out by the trash can right now.
Beans.
Dry heaving.
Yeah.
Well, the fallout from the Tomni Zavad caused the scorpions to get big and woolly.
Oh,
Them.
hey, it might not be from the Automnia Zavad. Outage has some weird stuff going on with its plant and animal life. Large scorpions in the desert. Let's just assume that that's one of them.
All right. In the meantime, I think Post is gathering himself. He says, "Mr. Blue."
So you're all in the room now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all enter the room.
I guess we're all in the room.
Jira slurping away at her beverage. Zgara, I guess, whittling this terrible cheese concoction into some form of simulacrum. And you, dry heaving, start asking Mr. Blue some questions.
Say, Mr. Blue, I don't know if you can smell what we're experiencing. I imagine you wouldn't like it. So let's. Oh God, let's just keep this brief.
Yes, yes, I'd like that as much as possible. Oh.
What about the cheese?
Oh, just tell us. Tell us everything we need to know,
I'll
please.
tell
for the
you
love of
whatever you
God.
want to know. Just ask me the questions.
At this point, I don't really know exactly. Just what do you know about Professor Mendeley, or the horrible terror that is Breakfast and his multiple portals into hell?
Professor Mendeleev, I don't know anything about him, but I know that Mr. Orange probably knows more about him. I think Mr. Orange works with him.
Interesting. See, that didn't come up before.
Just keep asking, please, for the love of
What?
God.
Why did they? I know we wanted to find you. Why did people want us to find you? Why are you in police custody right now?
They said
Why
something
doesn't your
about
story check
pancakes.
out?
They wanted to know something about my pancakes. Why it didn't transform into some monster and where I was.
Okay, good. Why? Thank you for reminding me. Why didn't your pancakes transform?
I don't know. All I know is before I left, I heard the crash of the window, and my hand knocked over the milk that I was drinking, and it spilled all over my pancakes as I rushed out the back.
I say, wait. Skara, continue.
Objection.
Continue your thought, please.
That's exactly right.
Oh, no.
I can't see that.
Why is it so furry?
They're woolly scorpions. I said that. They're mammalian.
Oh, Okay.
Wait, you gotta
The
put that up
nightmare
again. I
worsen.
now have the ability to see it.
Toasted is just
It's just all
so
utters.
sad right now, finding all about this weird woolly scorpion. So I look at Mr. Blue and I say, "You were drinking milk?"
Yes. So I was drinking milk, and then I rushed. I rushed to the bathroom where I went to hide, and I exited through the bathroom window out of the door.
Hmm.
So you could tell
You don't really have to super trick him.
from that first. So right off the bat, there is something that you could tell he is now more on the defensive, and you can't see Mr. I guess you can't see Detective Danko, but the pause there probably has been noted. Seems like you would need to only discover maybe one more thing about the situation here.
There's no bathroom.
Okay. That is the other thing.
Tommy Zavad, what's going on with your building codes?
So yes, immediately, Skara, who is always situationally aware of the nearest restroom due to her consumption of scorpion milk, or regular consumption of scorpion milk, noted that the Gorbachow diner did not have a bathroom. And do you point that out? Did you just say that out loud to Mr. Blue?
Yeah, I say, aha, you're lactose intolerant and you went to the university. I mean, there is no bathroom.
And with those Mr. Blue says, I'm not going to say anything until I speak to my lawyer.
Congratulations, I'm now your lawyer. Or this cheese is, I say, and I start moving it closer and closer to his nose.
He's disgusted, and he clamps his hands now more firmly over his mouth and nose enough to breathe out, but enough to, he's not going to say anything more, but that is okay. Detective Danko comes in to the room and it says, well, it looks like you're going to have to stay overnight until the lawyer can be called in. Thank you, friends, for bringing this to our attention. And he escorts you out of the room. And I will say that is it for tonight.
Okay.
You have successfully detained Mr. Blue for 1 day.
Fantastic. I will show my little fan art. It's Skara licking the pancake plate over the shoulder. That's what that was.
Jira?
Yeah, I keep getting you mixed up for the names sound the same. Jira, thank you.
Good, I love it.
Nice. All right. So end of the night, end of the session. What'd you guys think? Everything fun? Good times?
Yeah, fun at times. Yeah, that was good.
Excellent.
I love just the absurdity of everything. Being all around silly food ideas and whatever else.
Nice. Okay, so good to the order. Does anybody have anything that they want to promote before we?
I don't know if it's really worth promoting, but it was interesting and sort of thought-provoking. But Jeremy Saulnier's new film came out on Netflix, Hold the Dark. It's really dark, a dark movie. It doesn't completely work, but I've been thinking about it almost constantly since I saw it. So if you want a movie that's like good, but not great, and kind of depressing, that's a good one to check out.
Sounds like it's in my wheelhouse.
And it's free. It's on Netflix, so you don't have to pay extra for it, I guess, if you have Netflix.
Is that the one with the wolves in it?
Yeah, that's like the start of it. It goes many other places from there.
Oh yeah, I just saw the trailer. So,
if I'm doing a Netflix recommendation, I could suggest the second season of American Vandal came out, and American Vandal is fantastic. I don't know if any of you have seen it.
I just started watching season 1. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's a mockumentary that takes on that. I think it takes on the standard killer, investigation story, but it's a little bit more lighthearted because it actually they investigate what equates to high-level high school pranks. So in the first season, it's somebody drew 26. I think it's 26 penises on cars. I could say that it's late enough. In season 2, there are several fecal-related incidents that are investigated. It's great because it kind of actually has a little bit of a power outage vibe to it, in that the subject matter at its face value is kind of silly, but hopefully hopefully for power outage, it explores a lot of more complex situations and more complex issues, like from like in the second season, especially things like like how confessions are wrung out of people. False confessions, false statements are forced out of people. Things like along that nature, like the attention that athletics receives at times in certain schools, especially in private sector schools, or private education. How money affects the perceptions and stuff. It's a really good. So that's my recommendation. It's also hilarious. It's like a nonstop poop joke.
So it's like a comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's definitely comedic. I'll say that much. There's a lot of comedic tones to it, but there's also some serious feels in there from time to time.
sometimes the diagrams and like quote unquote evidence they do is really funny. Like they do like their own generated imaging of like two people on a dock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
it's it's almost like the JFK investigation, only with like teens giving each other's handies.
And to go with that, if you've listened to Serial, like some of the structure of Serial is like taken verbatim for this for the show, but then obviously everything is spun out in weird ways. And also, like, what's the guy's name? Dylan? Is that it?
Yeah.
The main suspect,
Yeah.
I guess, of like falsely
Of season
accused
1.
suspect.
Yeah.
He is wonderful because, and all of his friends are wonderful. They're just so incredibly dumb. I just can't get over how funny they are. They found the right people to play them for sure.
You want him to be. You almost at times want him to be accused. Like you want him to be accused.
Yeah.
It's like he should be it. At times, the same thing happens in season 2. Like when you listen to this guy speak, like at one point, like it made me feel bad because like I own an Android too, but at one point he goes like, I don't own an iPhone, I own an Android. It's the superior phone. If I wanted to be limited to what I can install on the iTunes application, the iTunes marketplace, then I would have gone with an iPhone. It was just like this guy, like he does a vlog of drinking teas, and he breathes over the tea in his mouth because it has like a different taste. It's just like a lot of pretentious nonsense that's fantastic.
It's great.
That's my recommendation.
I watched the new Blade Runner movie today.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
As someone who never watched the first one in its entirety, I can say that this one was pretty good. So anyone who might be interested in seeing it who doesn't want to watch the original, I can vouch for it. I thought it was excellent, even though it's a little long. I thought it was very well done.
What's the guy's name? Ryan. That's
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Joe.
Duh.
His name's Joe.
Ryan Gosling is a great actor. I loved him in this. I loved him in that movie with.
Drive?
No, I didn't see that one actually.
La La Land.
I didn't see that one either. The detective one. Oh, now I need to.
Blade Runner 2049.
The one where he's a detective in the future.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
has
great in
the-
that
Give me
movie.
a second.
The hologram girlfriend.
Damn it.
Not Blade Runner though.
He was Mars and the real girl.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
The one where Harrison Ford is
Nice
there.
Guys. A Nice Guys.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Nice
Yeah.
Guys is wonderful.
Yes, I enjoyed that too. Good actor. All right, Jack. Anything from you?
Play Spider-Man. It makes you feel like Spider-Man.
That's Donkey's gonna come down on you for that.
I really feel like Spider-Man when I play it.
Now, is that any Spider-Man
He's gonna
game,
come
or
down.
like if I pick up the GBA Spider-Man, is it gonna work the same?
Yeah, man, I feel like Spider-Man all the time, so sure, I'm gonna say whatever you get, whatever version of Spider-Man you end up with,
All right. Okay. Cool.
will definitely make me feel like Spider-Man, at least.
Talking about Spider-Man makes me feel like Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. All right, guys.
I went to work the other day, and I went to one of my coworkers. I said, "Give me pictures of Spider-Man," and then he just did a Google image search of Spider-Man.
Did you like flip?
Did you
No.
just show him pictures of yourself climbing a rock?
Yeah, I could. I really feel like Spider-Man when I do that too. Actually, that's probably when I least feel like Spider-Man because it's really hard, and Spider-Man doesn't seem to have any trouble.
It's a good thing we have the game then, so that way you can
Mhm.
get that feeling of climbing things. All right, guys. That's it for this week. We're gonna wrap it up as early as we can, or as close to on time as we can. So, thank you all. Bye.
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 Awkwardly wait while I hit the stop stream button.